See, the more at peace you become, the less you tolerate chaos. You stop explaining yourself to people committed to misunderstanding you. You stop showing up in places that disturb your calm. You start choosing silence over proving your point, distance over forced connection. It's not arrogance. It's alignment. Your energy becomes sacred territory, and not everyone is meant to cross it. Protecting your peace isn't about shutting the world out. It's about keeping your inner world clear enough to hear your own soul.
So can we just go to the data, CNN's own data, from our own data analyst Harry Hinton? President Trump has an 87% approval rating among Republicans, which is higher than Barack Obama's approval rating among Democrats at this point in his term, higher than where George W. Bush was in his term. He is the strongest, for his own party, strongest president at this point in his second term in the modern era. That's number one. Number two, Marjorie Taylor Greene, I think, had a falling out with the president over politics. He showed her a poll that said she couldn't win statewide in Georgia.
That's exactly
she got mad. She got mad. And by the way, she stands with a group of isolationists who just happen to disagree with the president over, say, taking away Iran's nuclear weapons and some other issues. That's fine. He's the president. She's not. And if you want to talk about whether the president has a hold on his party or whether he's a lame duck, I'll just submit that when he withdrew his endorsement of Greene, she lasted a week and then had to resign from Congress. That's not weakness. That is strength.
On the Fringe with Dan RadioStyle. Hope everybody out there's having themselves a great day. A wonderful Sunday for that matter. If you guys maybe didn't realize, I did a video yesterday, so if you want to catch up, you might want to do exactly that. We've got a lot happening in the world, and things are spinning in a fun direction. And really what's happening is the deep state is being cornered, surrounded, shaken out, and they are panicking, and they are being exposed. And this is going to be interesting. We're going to see court cases. We're going to see potential arrests at some point. We're going to see probably some kinetic action, maybe militarily. We got a few things that look like they're kind of spinning up, right? And we've also got the ground forces that they're going to try to unleash against us, we the people. This is one of those places where you want to make sure you're being safe around the house. You know what I mean? Keep your neighborhood safe. Worry about your neighborhood right now. Don't worry about the city that's 12 miles away that maybe has problems. That's not your problem, and it's unlikely it's going to drift into your 12 miles. Understand that you're most likely going to be in the right place. It's about holding the energy. It's about maintaining composure because they want us in a civil war, and we have to maintain the right energy, kind of the start, the purpose of that. Alan Watts, good guy, really good guy. National Guardswoman Sarah Beckstrom's Marine ex-boyfriend attends their somber memorial service after the D.C. shooting. This was a very, very brutal day that happened. Horrific day. A lot of terror, a lot of murder, and done in very different ways, I think. One was, I think, more of a sacrifice And one was literally an act of war. The act of war, of course, was on our side of things, literally shooting 2 D.C. guardsmen in the head, for that matter. I think both of them. One of them seems to be still alive. The other obviously passed away. This was her boyfriend, Adam Carr, or former boyfriend. I guess they broke up, but still. Sarah Beckstrom they had a candlelight vigil. Very sad. Very sad. Super sad because the numbers for the Hong Kong apartment blaze have gone way up. And I knew they would. There was a lot of missing bodies, but I was shocked when I saw this number this morning. I'm probably expecting still some more. 146 people have passed away. A lot of mourners have shown up. 146 people in a multi-building fire. I mean, that's a sacrifice. It's brutal. Brutal. It's like 9/11 kind of, you know? But China and Hong Kong, of all places, too, which is very British Crown-centric. An interesting piece of data here that needs some attention. This is Washington State. They've been doing mail-in ballots for quite some time. And what they show is the number of ballots that show up in the day before the election, the day of the election, and the day after the election. And what they've noticed is an interesting spike. I would say the day before and the day of, a huge spike. And then, I don't know, kind of standard spike, really, the day after. And so it's very interesting. So 2020 is the blue color, which you may not be able to see real well, but 2022 is the green. And this is over here is 1 day left to go, 0 day or election day, and then -1 day, -2, -3. Now, Washington was counting their votes for a long time, by the way. So whatever this is, kind of a sort of a misnomer still in my mind, but whatever. Right here's where the blue line is on day 0. This is the number of ballots returned in 2020. In 2024, the green line goes way up here. Same election, but now all of a sudden we've got, another 22,000 ballots than we had 2 years ago? Or 4 years ago, I should say. It's kind of significant. Now, I think a lot of us understand there's something going on. One, with the media. We'll get to that in a second. But 2, obviously, immigration and things along those lines have caused all sorts of problems with our elections. And then, on top of that, COVID. And they're trying to keep all the COVID practices in place. But no, we need to go back to in-person voting, go back to, you can do it on your phone is what they want to do. Yeah, so you can easily cheat. Everybody and their mother is going to get access to vote. And you'll never be able to do anything about it. No, it'd be over. And we'd be broke. And we'd be giving away everything to people that aren't even actual Americans, paid for by actual Americans that work and pay taxes. White House is unveiling a media bias tracker. Cool. They're just, from their standpoint, obviously, Trump's already sued a number of these outlets, right? So they're going to be, labeling them all misleading, biased. They're going to be showing the stories that are wrong, probably showing them correctly. I think that they're going to do a good job for people that need proof, and these things will work out well, I think, in the long run. There's obviously going to be a lot of people that will never believe Trump, hate Trump, right? But when it comes down to it, and then you're like, all right, you're talking to one of your family members, and they're like, that's not true. They don't mislabel anything. That's bullshit. And you're like, all right, here's what we're going to do. We're going to go right to this site. Like, I've never been there. This is what I'll be saying to my folks when I'm hanging out with them one day again, maybe. Be like, all right, let's go to this site. Let's watch a couple videos. Just a couple. And just bam, 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 bam. And you're like, all right, do you want more? Because there's just, I could start scrolling through all the different stories. Now, again, they'll just resort to name calling, most likely the ones that are the truest and are not going to wake up. And this is going to be part of this growth process. Again, we'll see how that all works out in the big picture. But media bias. I'm not sure what to say on this. It's probably true. General Flynn is saying that he thinks the operational commander of the color revolution here in America is John Brennan. That is a big claim to make and very possibly true. I'm not doubting it in any way, shape, or form, but I'm just like, damn. Dang. Okay. Yeah. So think about that for a second. The color revolution that's actually happening, literally, possibly put together by Brennan. Now, again, this kind of could come out later on down the road, and we'll see if Flynn is right. I'm certainly thinking that, Ratcliffe, I think, is the one that's in there. I think we'll see. I think it will. There's a lot of people that have strong opinions about the people that Trump has around him right now. I think that's very funny. I trust what Trump chooses to do, frankly. He's been screwed so hard, and we've seen it happen, and there's been so many leaks. So the people he has around him are the people he trusts, regardless of what anybody says. Documentary proves Gavin Newsom and Karen Bass did nothing as L.A. and Pacific Palisades burned. I wanted to play this little trailer for this. I guess it's coming up, this documentary.
How did a single spark incinerate my hometown?
It just goes and goes and goes.
The worst natural disaster that our city has ever experienced.
The only way that the cats wouldn't be okay is if all of the Palisades burned down. We both looked at each other and went, of course that's not going to happen.
This was climate change, an absent mayor, the laws of nature, diversity, equity, and inclusion. These are distractions.
Let's figure out what happened here and why this got out of control.
We'll see how people with power accelerated this apocalypse.
It's the kind of thing what could have been if they were here quickly, and they just weren't.
The whole thing just burned right to the ground with the mayor and the governor within a block.
Everything to the left, to the right, and below us and above us has burned. Didn't happen here.
We unfortunately have no water in the fire hydrants. We're completely tapped out.
And then we'll see the day no one saw.
There was nobody there. There was absolutely nobody there. No firefighters there.
The response is so fucking minimal.
The firefighters who were on the beach, they were eating breakfast burritos and had been told to stand down, and they didn't come.
I really wish they wouldn't have said breakfast burritos, man. I love a good breakfast burrito. That's just not cool. Not cool. Take a serious story and make me hungry with it. That's not how these things are supposed to happen. This is pretty messed up how this all played out. You know, it's funny. The one house that was there that didn't get burnt, you know they're going to try to figure out how to condemn that house, right? You understand that. At some point, they're probably literally going to be like, we got to bulldoze this house. And they'll be like, why? There's nothing wrong with it. It's like, we meant to burn it down already. You can't have it. Sorry. Oops. Or something magically will happen and arson will occur in the middle of the night. You watch. These guys are disgusting. And it's coming true. It's coming to the surface. There's the energetics that are happening on the planet right now that are changing. These energies can't stay hidden. They can't. The light is shining, and this light shines through stuff. There's no way. We're all seeing these little squirming things running around. It's like, what are those? Like bugs or something. We're seeing it. That is what is playing out. We've literally got an administration that's working on shutting it down, controlling the problems, destroying it. And we've got them fighting. Now, again, the point of the thumbnail, which, I don't know, might have been too deep. For many, anyways, not all. But we have got this situation like in Sum of All Fears, where at the end of the movie, where that beautiful song is done, some people have a bad day. Those situations are occurring. These people are afraid of the dark for a lot of reasons. One, they're about to go and spend time with them, and they failed. And so dark's not going to be happy with them. And two, the dark is where the good guys will get them. That Nasum Dorma, or whatever the song is, right? I think I get close to that anyway. That's, we will be victorious. We will be victorious. If you have never done it before and don't know what the words are, look up the words in English. There's a lady that actually sings it in English. Beautiful voice. It was awesome. I think I played it way back when, but incredible. These bastards are being shown. We had a mass shooting in Stockton, 19 shot, 4 dead. Children's party, locations of banquet hall on Lucille. 4 dead as of now. All children, I'd heard that it was a mixture of death, but I think the early reporting, they were kind of going heavy on that factor. Someone showed up at a children's party and started shooting, then got away. So there you go on that, right? I don't know what FBI's got, but now we're going to be, all right, California, show us how you handle these types of investigations. Are you able to figure out who it is, or do you need help from the federal government because you're retarded? Just wondering. Because you don't seem to be able to do anything right. Singer De La Rosa was killed in an ambush. 3 men charged with the murder. It's kind of sad. She was obviously quite an attractive lady. She was sitting in a car with 2 people, in a reasonably shady part of it. Well, I don't know if it's shady. As far as I'm concerned, all of L.A. is shady, right? But she was in the Northridge neighborhood. It's not the great. I mean, maybe it was a nice neighborhood, Northridge, but I wouldn't go to there ever. Whatever. 3 guys walked up to her, tried to rob her, ended up shooting them. She died. The other 2 are critically injured. And did they get them? 3 men have been charged, so they actually got these people. Look at that. That's amazing. Good job, California. Actually almost pulled it off there. No mercy for repeat offenders. Irina's Law now takes effect in North Carolina. This is going to screw with people really badly. And this was an interesting statistic that they bring up in this story. The Bureau of Justice Statistics study between 2008 and 2018 found that 66% of people released from prison in 24 states were rearrested within 3 years. 66% of people released from these 24 states were rearrested within 3 years. Of those rearrested, so of that 66% of the people, of that, we'll take 100% of that subset. Of those rearrested, 48% of them, almost half of those, had an arrest that led to a conviction. 49% returned to prison, almost half. A review of 110 homicide suspects found that 82% had serious prior criminal convictions. 59% had a prior weapons offense, and 44% had a prior violent crime conviction. Statistics. People generally that go bad in consistent ways. Sometimes there's oddities, serial killers, crazy stuff that happens that just, defies all logic. But for the most part, people tend to get bad in the same general way. Now, I'm sure that changes somewhat with time, how they're influenced and those types of things, but people tend to lash out in the same sorts of ways. Multiple studies from countries around the world indicate that 1% of the population, repeat offenders, are responsible for over 60% of all violent crime and convictions. That's right there. And we keep putting them back out on the streets and rewarding them. It's being done intentionally because it's creating a criminal cartel on the streets, which would have been used to control all of us legal gun owners. You see, if you're someone like me and you suddenly have 10 people show up at your house, kick down your door, you might get a couple of them, but you're toast. Doesn't matter what you do with your Second Amendment. Right? I mean, I got a few options, but yeah, it would probably not go well. 10 people storm my house. Be pretty messed up. Unless I was just shooting through the door, which, I mean, there was actually a case here in California recently where that was okay because they knew that a problem was forthcoming. Like if someone's kicking on your door, there's about 10 of them out there. Yeah, shooting them through the doors becomes legal. Castle doctrine. You definitely feared for your safety. If they would have gotten in, you would have had a much larger problem. Again, this is defend our areas. Hopefully, we stay in peaceful places. But Irina's Law, 1, bringing attention to all this. 2, this dude never should have been out on the street, ever. He'd been arrested so many times. And I don't know I forget who the new one is. He's been arrested 76 times or something. I don't remember which one he is. He's the one that caught somebody on fire, I think, recently. 76 times he's been arrested and released. And again, is this the judges? This is like another place where we've definitely got to shut down these judges. And that's part of the process that's playing out. I think ultimately we either need to be making more noise on that, or that's just part of, we need a lot of these stories to happen so it can finally be shut down. And again, how that happens, it's probably got to happen through Congress, which, shit, man, we can't get Congress to agree on anything. It's we're in a weird place right now. And I think Trump is going to win us the next election because he's going to give us fair elections. And then on top of that, he will have accomplished all this great stuff. After that election, we should have enough people, hopefully in the House and Senate, to where we can finally pass some laws. And hopefully we can get rid of some of the crap people that we got on there. That's the plan. Chaos in New York as trained activists try to block ICE operations. They knew about it almost immediately when it was happening. They hadn't even started yet. It was just being set up. And they already had, there's an app or something. Now, again, the way this is playing out in the story, and this is some group, Make the Road New York, this MRNY, they've been doing this for a while. They're paid to money by Ford Foundation, George Soros, Open Society Foundation, and the Rockefeller Foundation. We know where the money's coming from. I think that to some degree, there is a lot of that happening right now, that every time they do these things, we're paying attention. And again, so many people think Signal, for example, like the second something comes out and they're like, this is secure. You should use this device if you don't want anyone to know what you're saying. You should immediately go, oh, they must have control of it already. Then they just want us all to go in there and talk and tell our stories. It's stupid. Now, again, it catches the stupid people, too, for the most part, because the people I think that are legit, I think they got other ways. There's other ways. Carrier pigeons are really good. I'm kidding. Kind of. Not really, but anyway. Chaos in New York. Trained activists, right? So this is what they're doing. Donald Trump, he's pointing this out. I need to truth this out today. Immigration and Nationality Act, Section 212, Section F. Whenever the president finds, or subsection F, I guess is what I should say. Whenever the president finds that the entry of an alien or of any class of aliens into the United States would be detrimental to the interests of the United States, he may, by proclamation, and for such period as he shall deem necessary, suspend the entry of all aliens or any class of aliens as immigrants or non-immigrants, or impose on the entry of aliens any restrictions he may deem to be appropriate. Uh-oh. Is it already written into the law that Trump's got a pretty large amount of wiggle room? Uh-oh. Incidents of sexual extortion for money targeting youth has been escalating. A lot of people are taking advantage of the poor children. Canada's the ones that are talking about it in this particular case. The way it generally works out is extortion for money generally happens to young boys, and they usually show like a body part or something stupid that they shouldn't. And so because that happens, and it's to somebody that's older and pretending to be young, a young girl for that example, they use that to extort money out of them. What happens to young girls is they are then extorted for more pictures. You need to give me more naked pictures or I'm going to expose the naked pictures you've already given me, which seems like a really bad idea, but you can understand how a young girl that's scared that her friends are going to see her naked would do that extra stupid thing without talking to her parents. Folks, if you have kids and they're young and you have no idea what they're doing on the internet, like literally, if you're like, I don't know, like, I think they're protected, right? No, they're not. If you are not actively participating or looking at their search history or being involved in some of the stuff or just looking over their shoulder all the time, you are letting this happen to your child. I mean, this is just, I understand why we put these things in front of the kids because it shuts them up for a period of time. But if you make parenting easy, you end up with easy children, right? If parenting's more challenging, you actually end up with better children in the big picture that can handle larger problems, right? They don't need to, no offense to anybody, but they don't need emotional support animals, right? We don't need that. That's something that didn't exist a while back, right? States continue to increase budget despite the end of the COVID emergency. It is a number of different states that they're pointing out. It's fantastic. California, Illinois, Louisiana, Pennsylvania, Washington, all of these states have huge budget deficits. Trump is destroying them with shutting down the money the way they have. U.S. aid, certainly, but SNAP, SNAP is still going, but I think that's going to get changed. The DACA stuff or the ACA stuff that's going to be going in effect, and the fact that all of our insurance premiums for 28 million Americans or whatever is going to go way up, or a bunch of people that shouldn't have it anyway aren't going to be able to have it anymore. They're freaking out about them. Part of that too, and I think I got the story, or it's in here somewhere maybe, but the people that are here seeking asylum, those are ones that the Democrats consider legal, even though it's like a visa. It's not necessarily legal, but like Trump has said, those things are pretty locked in. So, I think ultimately he's been able to stop having more come in, or any asylum seekers currently seeking, like stopping that. But the ones that are already here, the laws are tricky, right? And so I think the only thing he can use is if they've committed crimes. So we've got a few ways that we're coming at this, and they're actually, thank God for AI, probably to a degree, but it's I think going through a lot of the options, creating probability matrices, and be like, and then saying, all right, here's a city, there's about 128 people, all in a reasonably close area, have at it. And so they're able to actually put together reasonably strong dragnets and take down a bunch of people that need to be taken down. Most people don't realize how spied on we are, so. Yeah, we've got a lot of states wasting money, and this COVID stuff being over, and just again, they constantly wanting a war is like Europe right now. All the deep state, they got all these bullshit things, and then they spend, and they increase budgets. They never want to get smaller, and they can't justify it anymore. People are like, why? Why are we doing this? This is stupid. Why are a bunch of people dying and nothing's being accomplished? What? No, this is a bad idea. Deep state's like, no, it's a great idea. No, it's not. It's a horrible idea. Homeland Security Secretary says U.S. will absolutely deport people with the pending asylum claims. So again, if you are doing illegal stuff and you are here as a guest in some way, shape, or form, even if it's asylum, and you're breaking the law, you're out. That's it. Who cares if the courts try to stop that for a period of time? You're breaking the law. You're here on a visa thing. Sorry, the president, to a large extent, has already got enough runway to do this. No problem. So things are going to get itchy and scratchy. All coming up. Dallas Muslim leader Marwan Maroof is going to be deported for ties to terrorism financing case, interestingly. Texas is getting serious about some stuff. But yeah, this guy's, I guess, Jordanian national. Is facing deportation after an immigration judge determined he provided material support to the Holy Land Foundation. Maroof has been living in the U.S. for nearly 3 decades and held a prominent role as the public relations and fundraising director for the Muslim American Society's Dallas-Fort Worth chapter. Since September, though, Maroof has been in the custody of U.S. Immigration and Customs Enforcement. His arrest was based on allegations, including the lack of valid entry documents and a soliciting funds for Tier 3 undesignated terrorist organizations. So, yeah, another one bites the dust, if you will. Black Friday sale happening with MyPillow. We got a really sweet deal. The coupon code OTF is going to take you places. Go to mypillow.com/OTF or just use the coupon code OTF however you get to MyPillow. They've got some really, really cool Black Friday specials, blowout sale on their pillows. These pillows are awesome. It's the best pillow you're ever going to use. It's where I fell in love with this company. And then that and the sheets and then the towels. Oh, my God. Now I have the socks. I'm loving the socks. It's out of control. And the slippers, I love the slippers. My girlfriend loves them. I don't wear them. I got a pair, and I love them. And they're super cool. I've showed you before. Look at this thing. Look how much fuzz there is. These things are so awesome. I just don't wear slippers. I'm like more of a barefoot kind of guy if I can do it, That's what I am. I'm weird. I can't help it. I don't like slippers. They make my foot sweat. That said, they're beautiful. And $39.98, they're giving them away. They're great gifts. You should think about that. It's also coming with free leather protectant spray. The bottoms of these are actual leather, like a rubber, and it's stitched. They're like 7 layers. These are actually like very rugged. So even if you want to wear them outside, and I've seen plenty of people do that, especially that leather protection spray is going to take you all sorts of places. Blankets, comforters, duvets, yes, or duvets. Pretty sure that's not how you say it, though. $25 they're starting at least as low as. They've also got some of the best comforters. I need to get another comforter myself. I love that. I got the 600 count. Love that comforter. It's actual got down in it, and it's washable. It's fantastic. They're pocketed. They're all stitched in little pockets, so they can't get too clumpy. So you don't even have to like do anything crazy with it when you wash it. It's actually super awesome. They're incredible. All said, all those things are happening. Black Friday specials. We've also got these 5-packs of the religious-y Bible type stuff pillows, the little roll and go pillows for the kids. And for kids, that's like a full-size pillow. Those roll and goes for us are like tiny, but to a child, it's like, this thing's awesome. My pillow. I love it. And there you go. 5 packs, $29.98. Are you kidding me? Yeah, seriously. Smooth toe socks. You can save up to 37%. I'm telling you, these socks are really, really good. I don't see the ones I have. Mine are like in between this guy. It's this. No, it's not even. These are different socks. Maybe they got some of the other ones, but they got a whole bunch of different socks going on. They're cotton. Just anything they make with cotton is incredible. Plus, they've got all their MyPillow healthy stuff, health and wellness. You guys can check all those good things out. And they've got the energy drinks. Oh, cool. They finally got the pictures of both of them. So these are the My Cross. And they got the, very interesting. That's like slightly different, it seems like, than the ones they used to have. But these are the 2 different ones they have. They're sterling silver. They're really nice. And yeah, again, they're men and women's chain lengths and all that. And here's the socks I thought that we're talking about. This is the sock I have. This sock is redonkulously good. It's strange. I'm kind of falling in love with these socks. They're, again, putting them on is a trick. Like if you don't get it on your toe all the way and then it somehow like bunches in here on your foot, it is almost impossible to pull it off of your, it's weird. The only way you can come at it's from the heel. Try to pull it that way, but you can do damage to a sock if you're too aggressive. Just not that I know for sure, but I definitely ruined one of them. They're weird though. Once you get them on, they're perfect. They're awesome. You can get them off pretty easy, don't get me wrong, but if you don't get it on, any of you that have bought these yet, you know what I'm talking about, right? Like it's insane. It's weird. It's how a sock should be, but at the same time, I've never had a sock like that. Like I've been able to pinch on the side of my foot and move pull the sock a little tighter, because I didn't get it on all the way. I don't know. You fudge. It's almost frustrating. It's a good sock though. That's how it's supposed to be, right? It's supposed to wick away moisture. Anyway, $3.99 a pair. I don't even know why I'm spending as much time on them, but I oddly really dig this damn socks. They're really good. Coffee. They got all the best sheets you can get. They've got Percale. I'm giving them away at $29.98 or starting in there. Their best towels. Their towels are incredible. I cannot say, oh man. No, sorry. I was wrong. I thought I saw $19.98. I was like, holy crap. No, $39.98. Still an awesome buy for the towels. Those are incredible towels. Percale sheets down here. These are the Giza Dream sheets. 50% off. Holy crud. 50% off. Yeah, starting at $29.98. These can get expensive. That's a good deal. Up to 50% off. And I think we got free shipping still happening. Money back guarantee extended. I don't know, free shipping, but whatever. It's cool. Still, nonetheless, incredible products. Go to mypillow.com/OTF. That's mypillow.com/OTF. The best night of sleep you have ever had. Documents stuffed into those burn bags that our good friend Kash Patel has found. He is going to make those public. He's telling us this. I don't know if he's given us a number of days, probably 30, if he did. But this has been posted. We'll see what info comes out of that. Some of it's going to obviously be involved in different cases and whatnot. So, but not all of it's going to come out. Some things they just can't talk about while it's being investigated. But at least we're going to hear about a bunch of it. A bunch of that stuff's going to bite some people in the ass, is basically what we're being told. Obamacare's costly illusion of affordability. From subsidies to serfdom. Yeah, this is the whole story that's really getting into just how this is going to go up for a number of people. It's probably freaking a number of people out. I get you. I don't know what to say on this. This is like we knew that some hard times were going to happen in this short-term period of time. We can't just continue to give taxpayer dollars to this because it hurts. Because it hurts a few. Because, by the way, And I hate to say this, but this is not everybody that this is going to hurt. This is about 20 to 30 million people. It's not a huge part of the population. It's a percentage. It's like 10% of the population or so. So I get it. And I know a lot of my audience is maybe going to be affected by this. Companies pay a lot of money for the benefits. Like I said, I got priced out. It's so ridiculously expensive for something that I never use, ever. And I'd rather just pay cash if something bad happens to me. I'd rather just have some money put aside, which I do in case, than to try to pay for insurance for something I never use. And then when you do, then they make you have to get a physical every year. You have to do all the stupid stuff, right? And then they start forcing you into their system of something's wrong with you. It's a messed up system entirely. So again, that's why I promote health products, because like, again, with the Feel Great product, people literally are lowering their A1C numbers, literally lowering their A1C numbers. They're literally becoming healthier because they're, one, stopping their insulin resistance, which is huge. I mean, I'm not trying to do a commercial right now, but this is part of the problem. This is why some of the products I use or promote are what they are, because they get you moving in a healthy direction rather than a non-healthy direction. There it is on the screen, otfspecial.com. otfspecial.com. Literally, this stuff is helping people lose weight and stop their insulin resistance. Incredible products. And will likely help you not have to go to the doctor as much, not have to necessarily take as many prescription drugs, not have to do a lot of things. But we are going to go through some pain points, and it's going to affect everybody differently. And so that's the thing. Just because some people are going to have a hard time doesn't mean everybody should have to, fix that. Some of us are in our own worlds. I'm not trying to be a dick. I'm just saying a lot of us have, we've ended up where we are. We're gonna move through this. We're gonna get through this, and hopefully there's some healing involved. I mean, again, I talk a lot about the crazy stuff, but whatever. I don't want to get too off on the weeds here. So yeah, very expensive healthcare needs to be fixed. Democrats sue after Trump cut SNAP benefits for illegal migrants. There's 21 states that are suing. Not a shock, and it's interesting. That's 21 states. It's always these heavy blue 21 states, almost half of our country. Now, a huge chunk of the population, but only because they were using illegal populations. But yeah, this is Trump's allowed to do that, so they're not going to win the case. And I'm sure a district judge is going to tell Trump he has to pay those benefits, and then an appellate court's going to immediately stay that, and then eventually it'll get heard. And I'm sure Trump has every right to do that. And it'll probably be a fun case to listen to. And again, this is going to be part of what we're going to experience over the next number of months. There's going to be a lot of crazy stuff like this. But again, elections are going to be a key one. And a lot of people are really wondering when Trump's going to do that executive order. And the timing of it's going to be perfect. But again, when, we'll see. It's going to be interesting. And it might be later. I mean, I don't know. Again, I don't know what the proper timing is. I don't know how that works. So it's got to at least be 90 days out, but I think they got to be further than that so people can figure out how to do the polling places differently. I don't know. We'll see. I'm looking forward to that part. This is going to be exciting. Oregon governor's threatening to prosecute any federal agents enforcing immigration law. You have at it. You do something like that. Go ahead. I dare you. Double, triple dog dare you. Oregon Governor Tina Kotek. Yeah. Whatever. We'll see. Seditious Kelly doubles down on the military mutiny call, basically trying to really drum this up. Again, I actually think I think the military is going to definitely do some justice on him. And that'll be fine. I mean, he still makes the money as senator. He still gets that money. He's still going to be able to retire fine. He doesn't really need his pension, so that's probably part of where this is coming from. But he's put it all on the line. Dude's definitely going to be in trouble. And he's saying the first Caribbean boat strike was a war crime, which he's saying it's a war crime because they went back to kill them because they were supposedly survivors, and then they had to actually go back and strike it a second time to kill the survivors. But that was the point, is they were drug traffickers. They needed to be dealt with, and they're at international waters when it happened, and so, I mean, again, it's not cool. It's kind of like that C-130 thing. I don't know if it's a war crime, though. Who knows? Of course, that's what they're trying to do. This is going to be an interesting time in history, guys. Venezuela is going to be another interesting thing. They're pissed off that we're doing the U.S. airspace closures. There's people saying that this is an act of war. Well, I think we're pretty clear that we're about to do kinetic strikes on your soil. So, yeah, we got an act of war coming for sure. But, yeah, Maduro's in a tough place right now. Japan denies Trump asked the PM not to provoke Beijing. There's this rumor floating around by, of all places, the Washington Post. Was it the Washington Post or Wall Street Journal? There we go. One of those crap mags. Wall Street Journal. And they said that Trump reached out to Takaichi and said, hey, can you stop talking tough with China or with Taiwan? You know, it's pissing China off. That never happened. Trump never said it, never did happen. This is according to alleged sources or whatever. But Takaichi's like, no, never happened, never once even close. That's what Trump and I talked, but no, that's not at all how anything was done. So, more bullshit stories. Keeps happening. China issues a rare bubble warning, forming in the humanoid robotics division. We've got Elon Musk trying to go heavy into this. Actually got a guy I know, older guy, he keeps talking about how great it's going to be when we have robots. And I'm like, You're worried about AI, but for some reason you want to have a robot. I mean, like, hell, if you've seen iRobot, that's like the one place where you're like, that's a little scary. I don't know. And I don't know what I'd have him do. Like, I don't know. I got to get better at, like, having a slave and just constantly telling him to, I don't know. I feel like parents have an advantage on that. I remember my parents always seemed to have a freaking list of things that I had to do, right? Like, it was just like cleaning the house. Doing gardening and stuff. We had a gardener and I had to garden. What was up with that? Not fair. Not fair, I tell you. Yes, yeah. So, I don't know. We'll see. There's probably a lot of robots is what they're saying. Bubbles create problems. China tries really hard not to create bubbles, they say. But it seems that there is one forming. So people are kind of waiting for this. Either A bunch of these things are going to get released for little money, which, again, might be what they want to do. Little armies inside our own houses. I don't know, man. There's a lot of people that are looking for things that I won't even put one of those stupid little sweepers in my house that are, because I heard they got cameras on them, and I'm so paranoid. You guys think it's not even funny. Black Friday spending soars. They're expecting $250 billion this season, $250 billion in Black Friday spending, which would imply that Trump's economy is better than Biden's economy. Ooh, isn't that strange? Gold and silver up a little bit right now. Gold's at 42.56. Silver's just cranking along. It's had a lot of good days. It says it's trading at 57.085, but Kitco's got it up 56 something, I think. Yeah, 56.33 is a bid. Ask 56.45. Still, it's gone up like $4 this week. We're expecting a jump. I don't know if it's happening now. It looks like it might be. So the expectation, we could see silver jump another $10 over the next week or two. Wouldn't surprise me even a little. A lot of expectation that we've probably got $20-$30 that at least, and then there's probably another jump that's going to come after that. So silver's still a very good resource to have, by the way. Even if you just got to buy some loose coins from a pawn shop or something, you're gonna have to pay bid or spot or whatever. But and there's a small premium typically, but it's a good investment. If you can get it any way you can get it, jewelry, even if you're into that works. Just it's the purity is the problem in a lot of cases with the jewelry. Coins are usually made at a very specific grade, if you will. And if you go to the mint, it's actually 0.999% pure guaranteed, and those are significantly better. So again, it's just little games that are played. Pfizer buries data showing mRNA flu vaccine bombed in the trial with the elderly. Not much better under 65. Yeah, under 65 it didn't work that great. Over 65, it actually looked like it worked less good, like it didn't work at all. In fact, it was causing problems. They were seeing issues in the injection site from swelling to up to kidney problems. Seems like over 65, that shot's not a good idea. These mRNA shots are proving to be hazardous, it seems, and they tried to bury the results That's the funniest part. They literally tried to bury the results. They were going to be all proud of them and publish them to the FDA, and then they're like, oh, we're just going to kind of bury these off in our clinical trials website, and not really make a deal about it. In fact, they're even claiming right now that they're not in phase 3, that they're still in phase 2. Probably going to see if they can doctor those numbers or if they can drag it out long enough until Trump's gone. I don't think that's going to work, though. Not going to work. Not going to det. Hungary had a nice little chit-chat with Putin regarding their oil, and basically Hungary saying, and Trump gave him the okay on this. Hungary's, Orban's made a deal with Trump, basically, and this is what makes sense. And they're solidifying that deal. It's going to guarantee that Hungarian people are going to be warm this winter. And it's not going to be, super expensive. It's not going to cost an arm and a leg, so it's super good. Sea drone strike. Now, we talked about the mine strikes on those 2 Russian vessels in the northern Black Sea. Those were, now we're finding out, looks like drone strikes from Ukraine, which, okay. I mean, that makes more sense. I was like, why do they have mines out in the Black Sea? That just seems dangerous. But, yeah, drones cruising around. There you go. Makes more sense. They also attacked this Caspian Pipeline Consortium, which this is odd because this is not really Russia's. It's other countries. I don't even want to try to say them. It's some of the stands. And it's them moving oil to each other. And so I don't know. Maybe Russia is offloading some oil onto these is probably happening, I'm assuming, and that's why they targeted it. But they're actually literally affecting essentially allies. Sounds like something Britain would do. Ukrainian-born top neocon donor snags most expensive Hamptons home ever. Yeah, it's pretty big. They got it for $115 million. What a deal. And I guess the guy that was selling it, who was the chairman and CEO of Yahoo and Warner Brothers, his name was Terry Semel, purchased it back in 2005 for $43 million and sold it for $115 million. Not bad. This dude's a super wealthy Ukrainian guy. Again, it's funny, he's moving here, maybe after all of the stuff that he's ripped off from his own country. Zelensky's top aide, this guy we've talked about him, this Andriy Yermak. Well, he's now supposedly put himself up in the front lines, and he's supposedly going to be all involved in the war effort, because might as well, since I can't do anything else. Well, the reality is, and we've gotten some confirmations, if you will, that he's not actually anywhere. He's where generals are, and he's kind of up on the front lines because he can't get served papers there. Nobody will serve him papers up on the front lines, but he's not assigned to any groups. No groups assigned to him. He's not doing anything. He's just hanging out, using it for cover. So, yeah, this Yermak guy's bad news. More is going to come out about him, and that should be all sorts of fun. Israel's Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu has formally requested a pardon from President Isaac Herzog on Sunday amid his ongoing corruption trial, weeks after President Donald Trump sent a similar clemency letter. Netanyahu, without admitting guilt, argued the pardon would heal national division and reduce tensions from the case. So we'll see what Herzog comes back with. This is going to be interesting how this one plays out. Now, Trump has asked them to cover Netanyahu or basically clear him of the stuff that they've have the issue with. And it is kind of stupid. He got some gifts, is what a lot of this has to do with. And again, right, wrong, and different. But I know I've got strong feelings about Netanyahu, but I think there's a larger game at play here. And I trust that Trump is playing this properly. There's so many people that are like, Trump is on the side of Israel and he's controlled by Israel. You can say whatever you want. I don't believe that. I'm sorry. I think this is far more complex than most simplistic people make it. Most simplistic people make it binary. It's not. Nothing's binary. Everything's many, many options and things and variants. Chess is like that. There's always multiple moves. You might want to make this one move now, but it's better maybe to wait and make a different move and get them to do something, and then that move will actually make more sense. Again, there's moves and counter moves, as they frequently say. So we'll see. We'll see how it all plays out. All these things said, yeah, change is coming. Change is coming quickly. The bad guys are scared, and we're making a huge difference with our ripples. I love you guys. Where we go one, we go all. It's On the Fringe with Dan Radio Style.